Hi sewing friends, welcome to my sewing room. My name is Beth, and if you're new, welcome. The last couple of months I have enjoyed some peaceful sewing time. Typically in the evenings I've been appliquing a 4-block quilt, and I'm going to show you in just a minute how I am doing that using just three colors: green, red, and mustard color for the yellow. Here is what the 4 blocks will look like when they are complete. I am not quite finished with all 4, but I'm almost there. This 4-block applique quilt uses 4 large squares of muslin, and my squares are 21 inches square. And to place the vines on my muslin, I'm folding my squares in half twice diagonally, and I'm pressing to give myself those lines. I cut green strips on the bias about 1.5 inches wide, and then I used a large basting stitch, and folded that vine in thirds, and I just sewed right along the vine. And when I have it appliqued on my quilt, I can remove the large basting stitches. I cut the green vines on the bias so that it will curve. Not all of the vines in this quilt block need to curve, but I did cut all of the green stems or vines on the bias. When I had my vines ready to go, I placed them on those folds that I had pressed, and I was able to place them on my block really easily using those lines. I needed some smaller vines on the sides, so I cut this card so that they would all be the same. They're not going to be exact. This is not an exact kind of quilt, but they will be very close, and I'm using that to guide those shapes as I add these vines to the side. I needed to give myself a little angle there. I'm tucking it under those longer vines that go crisscross across the quilt block, and I will pin this down, and then I will applique with green thread to match that fabric. And see here, I used a pencil to give myself that gentle curve, and I did not do this every time, but I did a couple times to give myself a little guide as I placed those vines on my quilt block. did all of the applique pieces just a slightly different. For the red flowers, I'm using some freezer paper. It's got a shiny side that will be on the back of the fabric, and in this case with this red, the front and the back are the same. But if you were to have a fabric that has a front and a back, then the shiny side goes on the back, and I just attached it to the fabric. It kind of sticks to the fabric, and I'm giving myself a seam allowance here as I cut around that shape, and then I will cut little, I'll snip those corners after I give myself the seam allowance, and then I will press all of those edges down. As I do my applique, I will see those pressed areas there, and I'll just be able to tuck those edges in as I sew around the flower. Here is the book by Gwen Marston that gave me a lot of information about this classic four-block applique quilt technique, and there are a lot of really beautiful quilts in the book. I mentioned earlier that this has been a wonderful evening project. I really like having handwork in the evening, and this has been one of my favorites. I'm using red thread here on the red flowers, and then I will cut the mustard colored centers for the flowers and add them in just a little bit. There were two sizes of flowers, and so there are two sizes of these half circles, and I am just giving, again, I'm going to give myself a seam allowance, but in this case I did not use the freezer paper. This is just not as fussy of a shape. This will be easy for me to just hold. It's an index card, and I cut the shape, and now I will press. I'll just lay that shape on my fabric, and I'm going to press the edges in so that when I add it to my quilt, all those lines, I guess that folded line will guide me as I tuck the edges in and hand sew around. Here's the little pattern for this project that I scribbled on a piece of paper, and after getting an idea of the quilt block, I cut the shapes out of paper and I just laid them right on that piece of muslin to try to figure out what size they needed to be. This was the first yellow that I used on my quilt block, and when I had it all together, I did find a color in my stash here, another mustard color that I liked a lot better, and you may not be able to tell here with the video the color difference, but in just a minute I'll show you the mustard color that I found in my stash. I did have to take out all of these half circles off that first block, which was a little bit sad, but I was thinking I think I'll be happier in the end if I use the color that I really preferred. I ended up finishing one of the blocks completely so that I had an idea of where I was going with this project, and then I just did one part of that block at a time. So I had my green stems, and then I did the red flowers, then the centers of those flowers, and last but not least I am finishing up with the leaves, and I think tonight I will be done with all of my blocks, and then I'll have to decide how I'm going to surround the blocks with some kind of a border. Again, with the leaves, I just used a piece of index card that I had cut, so all of the leaves will be the same. After I made a few like this with my iron, just pressing those edges in, I laid them down on another piece of fabric and I sprayed some starch on them, which helps that seam just be a little more firm. So I put a piece of fabric down so that I didn't mess up my cutting board or my wool pressing mat. I don't think wool pressing mats really are great with starch. I don't think you should put starch on your wool pressing mat. So I did that on a piece of fabric, and that held that fold really nicely with the starch. And after I made a whole lot of leaves, I sat down and I began adding the rest of my leaves to my 4 blocks. This is a really fun quilt to put together. I know I am going to miss working on it when I have all these blocks done, and I think tonight might be the night when I get all those leaves on there. Next step is I will join them and then figure out what I will do for the border. If you have ideas, let me know. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.